So, in my previous video, I said I would cover the story of Princess Caraboo in the future. So here we are. I'd just like to say that the facts that I am going to throw at you now have been seen in at least two sources. Because the deception happened so long ago, like Chinese whispers, parts of the story have obviously changed as it had been passed down throughout the generations. So, on the 3rd of April 1817, a cobbler in Almondsbury in Gloucestershire met a disorientated young woman wearing exotic clothing, and she was also speaking a strange language. The cobbler's wife took this stranger to the overseer of the poor, who placed her in the hands of the local county magistrate, Samuel Worrell. He lived in Knoll Park on the estate where the Tower House now stands. Worrell and his wife could not understand her, but they did determine she called herself Caraboo. They sent her to a local inn, where she identified a drawing of a pineapple with the word nanas. That means pineapple in an Indonesian language, and she also insisted on sleeping on the floor. Samuel Worrell declared she was a beggar and should be taken to Bristol and tried for vagrancy. During her imprisonment, a Portuguese sailor named Manuel Anesso said he spoke her language and translated her story. According to him, she was Princess Caraboo from an island in the Indian Ocean. She had been captured by pirates, and after a long voyage, she had jumped overboard into the Bristol Channel and swam ashore. This representative of exotic royalty was a favourite of the local dignitaries. She used a bow and arrow, fenced, swam naked, and prayed to a god whom she named Allah Tala. She acquired exotic clothing, and her portrait was painted and reproduced in local newspapers. Eventually the truth surfaced. A boarding house keeper, Mrs. Neal, recognised her from a picture in the Bristol Journal and informed her hosts. This would-be princess was in truth Mary Wilcox, a cobbler's daughter from Witheridge in Devon. She had been a servant girl around England but had found no place to stay. She invented her fictitious language from imaginary and gypsy words and created an exotic character and story. Mrs. Worrell took pity on her and arranged for her to travel to Philadelphia, for which she departed on the 28th of June 1817. Around September 1817, once in the US, she briefly continued her role, appearing on stage at the Washington Hall in Philadelphia as Princess Caraboo, with very little success. In 1824, she returned to Britain and exhibited herself for a very short time in New Bond Street, London, as Princess Caraboo, but again her act was not successful. Sadly, in her later life, she was living as a widow in Bedminster under the name Mary Burgess, which in reality was actually the name of one of her cousins. She married Richard Baker and she gave birth to a daughter named Mary Ann in 1829. In 1839, she was selling leeches to the Bristol Infirmary Hospital, but she died from a fall on the 24th of December 1864, and she was buried in the Hebron Road Cemetery in Bristol. Princess Caraboo's story was actually made into a Hollywood film in the 90s, and it starred Phoebe Cates of Drop Dead Fred and Gremlins fame. It also starred Jim Broadbent and Kevin Kline. The story was not a huge success, and a lot of the story was actually dramatised. But if you are interested to know further, it is well worth watching the film. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and also you're welcome to put comments in the comment section below. If there's anything you want me to cover in the future, please feel free to leave comments, and I hope you all have a good day. Cheers.